I don't even play baseball, and I can tell you that the key to a perfect swing is muscle memory. You might already be familiar with the term muscle memory, but basically it means that your body has done the same thing so many times that it just does it naturally, right? An example of that is really in most sports, but especially think about like a baseball swing, or you think about shooting form in basketball. The reason that guys like Steph Curry, Ray Allen, and Reggie Miller are such great shooters is because they've taken those shots over and over and over again in an empty gym. So they have the perfect form so that when they're in the game, when things are difficult, when things are tricky, when they got to get a quick shot up, when there's a defender in their face, they don't have to think about it. They do that perfect form because they've practiced over and over again. So it's this, you create this muscle memory where your body does it automatically without thinking. Because when you're in the game, whether it's baseball or golf or basketball, you have to have that same form because you don't have time to think. There's too much else to think about, right? The pressure gets to you, or the defense gets to you, or whatever it is, you can't think. You have to just react. You have to just do it, and you have to train your body to do it right so that when it does just react, it reacts the right way. So it almost like transforms your body's default setting, right? If you tuck your elbow every time and you get used to it, you're gonna keep shooting like that, and that's your default setting. You might not realize this, but everything you do in life is creating habits. And your habits are going to reset your default setting. If you train your body to get up early, and whether it's work out or read your Bible, you can create that habit where it becomes easier every single time. The same thing works with like negative thinking and having negative reaction to everything, because I think most of us, and if not all of us, right? I don't know scientifically, I'm sure there's studies and things that prove that we're negative by nature. So we automatically are gonna have negative reactions to certain things. Some of us more than others, but you have to train yourself to have a positive response. And it's not gonna happen overnight, but you can kind of reset your default settings by intentionally filling your head with positive things, intentionally forcing yourself to think positive. Literally, the things you watch, the people you spend your time with, and the things you intentionally say and do can change yourself into a more positive person and a more disciplined person. Like I think a lot of us think that some people are just more naturally disciplined and more naturally positive and more naturally but that's actually something that you can train. Some people might naturally incline to that, but that's something that you can train yourself to be better at that. Whether it's getting up early and working out and reading your Bible, or whether it is having positive responses to bad situations. This is what the Apostle Paul refers to as renewing your mind. It's kind of a weird term, especially if you didn't grow up in the church, but what does it mean to renew your mind? Well, it means to kind of reset your mind's default setting. When you get up early and read your Bible and pray every day, it's not some religious obligation, right? It's literally reprogramming your default setting to think and act more like God. It's not gonna happen overnight. Muscle memory isn't created because you shot one time with the correct form. It's countless hours in the gym, right? Nobody has the perfect swing because they played baseball one time and somebody showed them where to put their shoulder and how to swing their hips. Yes, if you can just get up one time and read your Bible and pray, that's a great start. But don't just do it one time and say, well, nothing happened, nothing changed. Why is my life still the same? You got to create that muscle memory by creating this habit of doing this every single day, of spending time in the Word, of communicating with your Creator, and form these positive habits that are going to give you positive results. And you do it so much, and you create that muscle memory, and you reprogram your default settings. So when you get into terrible situations, when storms of life comes, when things are difficult, and you don't have time to think, instead of your default setting being worry, which is normally what it is, your default setting becomes to trust God. So what habits have you formed? What have you programmed as your default setting? Because when things get tough and you don't have time to think, that's how you're going to react.